Today we're going to start with a story from the Bible. This is a story about Jesus doing something which none of the disciples expected him to do. So, after he'd sent the crowds away, Jesus went up the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there by himself. The boat had already gone some distance from the shore and was being smashed around by the waves, since the wind was against it. At the very dead of night, he came towards them, walking on the water. The disciples saw him walking on the sea and panicked. "It's a ghost," they said, and screamed in terror. But Jesus at once spoke to them. "Cheer up," he said. "It's me. Don't be frightened." "If it really is you, Master," said Peter in reply, "give me the word to come out to you on the water." "Come along then," said Jesus. Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the strong wind, he was afraid and began to sink. "Master," he yelled out, "rescue me!" Jesus at once reached out his hand and caught him. "A fine lot of faith you've got," he said. "Why did you doubt?" Then they got into the boat and the wind died down, and the people in the boat worshipped him. "You really are the Son of God," they said. In that story, it starts out with the disciples having a really hard time. Jesus has left them and gone up the mountain by himself to pray. And they've said that they'd meet up when they were going to row the boat out and meet Jesus up in a different place. But they're trying to row the boat out and the wind's against them, so the wind is pushing them back and they're just not getting anywhere. And it's really hard work and they're really tired and really frustrated and they're supposed to be meeting Jesus and it's just all going wrong and it's the middle of the night and they're still just not going anywhere. And then out on the water, they see something moving. It's the middle of the night and something is on top of the waves and it's coming towards them. And it looks a bit like a person. People don't walk on the water. It's got to be a ghost. And these are grown-ups. These are men who spend all their life on the rowing boats, being out on the water. This is something they know really well. And they're terrified. They're really scared. And this thing is coming closer and closer. And then Jesus shouts, "It's okay. It's only me. I've just come to meet up with you." And they can't believe it. That's not what they were expecting. They needed help, but that's not the kind of help that they were looking for. They wanted the wind to die down. They wanted to get some sleep. They wanted it not to be so hard to row the boat. They weren't expecting Jesus to be walking on the water. But so Peter calls out to him, "If it's really you, then I need some proof. Help me, make it so that I can walk on the water too." And Jesus says, "Of course. Come in. Of course you can." And he does. And Peter walks on the water too. But then he remembers actually, this is really scary. And he starts to sink. And it's all going wrong again. Oh no, what's he going to do? And he calls out to Jesus, and Jesus says, "It's okay, I'm here. I'll help you." And he pulls him up, and they both get into the boat, and then the wind dies down, which is probably the thing that the disciples really wanted to happen. That's the thing that they were looking for. So now we can have a think about, how's that like our lives? What happens when we get tired or worried about something, or something scary's happening, or you're really frustrated about something? When are you in that situation? What makes you cross? What makes you scared? And what happens? How do you get out of that? Who helps you? Because Jesus can help you. You can pray and talk to Jesus, and he'll tell you it's okay. You don't need to be scared. You don't need to be frustrated. I'm here. I'm with you. And actually, that's all we need. We just need to trust Jesus and know that he's with us. And it will be okay. There will be a way to fix this. And that's how Jesus fixes things in the Bible. That's how he makes the disciples feel safer. And then the wind can calm down and they can row. Because even if the wind calmed down, they'd still be tired. They'd still be worrying about Jesus. They'd still have lots of other things going wrong. But when Jesus is there, then it's okay. So next we're going to sing a song, and then we can do a craft and make a picture of this story.
When I'm feeling sad, I can call out to him. When it hurts inside, he feels every tear. When no one understands just what I'm thinking, Jesus, he's always there. He's always there. When I'm feeling fine, we can talk together. Everyone around me seems to care. Walking in the sun, I can feel him smiling. Jesus, he's always there. He's always there. When I'm feeling sad, I can call out to him. When it hurts inside, he feels every tear. When no one understands just what I'm thinking, Jesus, he's always there. He's always there. When I'm feeling fine, we can talk together.
craft, you're going to need to first go to this website and print off their pieces of paper. You could draw it if you wanted to, but it might be easy to get the outlines. So when you've printed them off, you should have 2 pieces of paper, one with some sea on it and one with Jesus, Peter and a boat. You're going to need 2 lollipop sticks, some sellotape, some scissors and some colouring in pens. So first job is to cut out the people and the boat. So now they need colouring in. Next we need to tape half a lollipop stick to the back of each of the boat, Jesus and Peter. Like that. But now we're going to do the tricky part. So that the boat and Jesus and Peter can all walk on the water, we need to cut along some of the wave lines so that we can then slot the characters into the water. And you'll also need a slot in the boat so that you can have people inside the boat as well. And then you can act out the story. You can have the disciples in the boat, sailing on the choppy water. You can have Jesus walking on the water, coming to see them. Then Peter can get out of the boat and walk towards Jesus, and he can also slip under the waves and say, "Oh no, I'm drowning, help me!" And then Jesus can save him and help him to stand on the water again. So to finish up, we're going to pray together. Jesus, when I'm afraid and tired and under pressure, help me to remember to look out for you and follow your lead. Help me to trust even when it's really hard. Amen.